Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Stellar Blade reaction. I don't know if I could call this another because I technically did hear the collaboration that they did with Nikkei, with Providence, and it's like, okay, kind of that. I didn't really, I heard the song, but it was in that video. That's too much detail. Basically, I'm listening to Raven today, and I don't really know much about Stellar Blade as a game. I've seen some gameplay stuff, but no other details really, so I'm going in fairly blind, at least aside from what I learned with that other reaction. So, yeah, hit or miss, but I'm going to be listening to this today. So I guess without further ado, let's go. Hey. Wait a minute. This is completely different. Less sound design stuff, definitely less atmospheric. Huh. This is really fun, actually. Ooh, what's happening next? Ooh, sound design. Ooh, another build-up. Okay, what's gonna happen next? This is always exciting. Hey! Wait a minute. Hell yeah. It's like hardcore house. Ooh, the lack of like a... I guess there is kind of like a snare hit in there. But it like comes and goes in like 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3. It like it pauses and it's not like a significant hit. That's such a cool idea. They're treating everything in the sound design kind of as a snare there. That's really neat. Ooh. Okay, I take back what I said about there being less sound design. It's just moved elsewhere. And the vocals are perfect for the tone here, too. This might be wild to say this, but it feels almost like if, like Ghost in the Shell was like in a J-pop world. Is that kind of what this world is like? Like techno-punk sci-fi future? Oh, that was really good sound design there too, just making it sweep across the ears. I love it when they do that. We stan any producer willing to use stereo space to the fullest extent. Ooh. And here's this part again. I feel like there is like a hit hidden in there, but it's like nestled in. It's there, but it's so subtle. And then having everything else like the Doppler sound in there. This is wild. Oh, what a way to end it, too. Jesus Christ. Okay, I had one song that I had heard, and it was basically a remix of an atmospheric track, and then I get this as my next exposure. Wild. Absolutely wild. It is an extremely positive thing for me to hear this right after that other song and immediately getting to understand the scale and scope of music that this game probably has. You're not going to go from something that's like, you know, space age orchestral, very atmospheric, very broad, has a lot of room, to this, which utilizes all of that stereo space just like the other one, but it's much more like K-pop, J-pop in comparison. This is so cool. Again, like having these different approaches to the percussive stuff in there, especially at that one spot I kept nerding out about, just because I don't hear that basically ever. But especially, and of course as a drummer, you're used to hearing the kick and the snare being played in tandem, like almost always. There are plenty of exceptions to that, just depending on how the song is written, what you want the mood to be. There's plenty of ways to readjust for that sort of thing. But very rarely do you hear them remove one of those two, if not both, and keep the same rhythm around it. Usually when they do that, it's because something else in the song is shifting, the time signature, something else that's like, you know, the root of the music. And in this case, they really didn't do that. They shifted up the feel a little bit, but not by omitting purely the snare, because again, there was like a little thing in there. There was still an essence of a snare hit, but it's like that job was subcontracted to a different part of the sound design, and that's what I loved so much. The fact that they removed it, but they didn't fully remove the hits that were there. It just shifted that job to a different element in the song, and that's just such a cool way to do that. It is very rare that I hear that sort of thing, so when I do hear it, and especially done in such a fun, inventive way, I'm like, ooh, do more, please. Like, I want to understand what you're going for here as a composer. Like, the composer of this game is insane. Like, I don't know, there might be multiple, but if they're the same person who made that other one, I would honestly understand, because some of the sound design stuff was fairly similar, at least the general approach to how they were utilizing certain sounds, the Doppler stuff, the broad open like whirs in the backgrounds, the alarms and such. But at the same time, it felt different enough in general tone that I could totally understand this being a completely different composer and a completely different person. But also, if you're just on the same sound team, maybe you're sharing ideas and you're kind of just throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks, and that's totally an option that could work and could be what this was. But one of the things I really like about this compared to that other one I heard isn't that you can just clearly tell that they're not the same song and they have different aspects to go for. They have a different job in the game, but that you can tell that the one is definitely like an atmospheric thing for the gameplay, like it's not somebody's theme. This one is a theme. This is a song that is so thematic, it's hard to call it anything else. This is a track that belongs to a character, it has an identity, and in that, it's portraying that person. Whereas the other one just kind of felt more like the open vastness of the world you're in and trying to get that scale put together, and that you can tell the difference. Because sometimes people do just get themes that sound very broad, like, oh, this could have just been a theme for the castle, not the king, you know, like it's very identifiable to a person. I don't even know if that is the case, but I'm assuming that this belongs to somebody probably named Raven, given the title of the song, but maybe that's a little too on the nose. And before I get people commenting about this, I am aware that the song I listened to was Providence, and that is like a thing. It's a thing that you fight. I assume it's a boss. I don't remember the details of that from the comments, but I know it's attached to a thing. The difference is this is a character, that's a thing. That thing is huge. That thing has a job to do, and it's going to do it. There is like a bigger picture to that song, and that's why it feels so vast. This one feels a lot more personal. There's more of an identity to it that belongs to an individual that is like tangible. This other thing, so big it's hard to comprehend. This one is a person walking on the street. It's a completely different scale. It's not like I'm saying that Providence belonged to space, you know? It is an atmosphere, and that atmosphere is, I'm here to kill you, the player. I just wanted to clarify that because I'm sure somebody would assume I meant something else. I don't. I know that the other song is connected to a character by technicality, but I also hope you understand what I mean about the difference between giant robot thing and person, and the song and scale difference that is pervasive between that. And I'd actually seen this song in my comments plenty of times before getting to it, and I knew I would have to get to it eventually, but Tefania threw it into the Patreon producer queue, and that's why we got to it today, and now you're all gonna have to wait a month until you see this. So if you're seeing this a month after it came out, hi, sorry it took so long for you to see it, but also, I did listen to it, so stop yelling at me in the comments, even though I'm sure you still have, even though I've already listened to it by now. Jokes aside though, obviously I love this song, I love the vibe it has, I love the approach to it, I love the feel, and again, the scale difference between those two songs, and it's proof that there's gotta be so much more to this soundtrack that I haven't heard yet, and there's probably so many different genres in here. If these are the two that I heard, the first two, I'm sure there's more. But I'll stop yapping here and I'll wait for those maybe in the future. So if you have a specific song you want me to get to from Stellar Blade, leave it in the comments below and I will do my best to get to those as always. Especially now, twice a week, I have kind of a wild card slot that I just do whatever. So it's very possible I'll just pick a Stellar Blade song to listen to at some point and maybe get to another one. So if you have one, leave it down there. And if you want to guarantee something much like Tefania did, you can join my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There's a tier that will force me to listen to whatever you want, just like this one was, where it's just, you know, anything. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be from anything, by anyone, it doesn't really matter. That's why it's a guaranteed request. But otherwise, if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for other stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!